Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a first down. Drops back, looking to throw for it on third down. Looks downfield and finds a receiver who worked his way wide open. And the stop is made, but not before a huge gain moves the ball to the 32.
What a pitch and catch by the quarterback and receiver for a big gain for this offense.
The Noles have 1st and 10 here. From the gun, he looks for an open man. Here's a target, and it's complete. Tackle made at the 21. This offense in great scoring position now.
But good job with the offensive line giving his quarterback time to throw. And you can see the damage he can do to you when he does have time. A great throw and something you just kind of expect in Tallahassee. A quarterback that can make throws like this.
Here's the handoff. They tackle him behind the line, a loss of 4.
Chris, I think we all kind of get caught up in third down. What is an offense doing on third down? But I think what's also important is how well you defend first down. If you can hold your opponents to a short gain or a tackle for a loss, you throw the offense out of whack, and their game plan gets much more challenging to try to come up with that first down.
And the crowd coming to life here, trying to help this defense down in the red zone. Takes the snap and takes off on the run. Tackled, but only after picking up a fresh set of downs. The Seminoles looking to crank up the tempo a bit. There's the snap. Quarterback setting up the throw. Pressured and dropped back at the 8-yard line.
Well, it's a great job by this defense coming up with a big sack there on 1st and goal. The offense still has their opportunities. Let's see if they can get back on track here on 2nd and goal.
Offense facing 2nd and goal. Here's a run to the left looking for the touchdown. Couldn't quite get there, but brought down at the 1-yard line.
Well, they came very close to punching that one in, and now 3rd down and goal. And if I'm the OC, I challenge my offensive line in that back. I just slam it right back into that A-gap and try to overpower that defensive front.
Here's a run call on 3rd and goal. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there.
I'll tell you what, considering they've been out there for a long time on this drive, they sure showed a lot of endurance there, coming up with a big stop. And now it's 4th and goal. And as an offensive coordinator and head coach, with this kind of drive, it just seems like he'd be missing something by not coming away with a touchdown. Well, that's going to go down as an empty possession for this offense. No points as he's off target. Now you can see he's hanging his head. Poor kicker.
Here comes the Missouri offense back out onto the field. They had a long drive going last time, but it stalled, looking to reach the end zone this possession. Gets some space around the 30. Oh, and he's in the clear down the left side. Can they catch him? Crosses the 10. Takes it all the way to the house. Touchdown, Missouri.
What a touchdown. Anytime you see a play go for that many yards, everything has to come together. The offensive line did their job, the running back's vision and instincts and speed, and the play caller setting up the perfect personnel group, formation, and play call. It all came together, and they get the big score.
And here's the return from inside the 5. And he stopped at the 20. Tried to make something happen, but that's good coverage there. The Seminoles offense comes back on the field. No doubt the last drive was deflating. They had to settle for a field goal attempt, but missed it. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play. Offense operating at high tempo now, no huddle. And the defense will spend their 2nd timeout here to make some adjustments. First and 10 play coming up. One back in the backfield, and he'll get the carry. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2.
Things just appear to be a bit out of sync from the get-go on that one. Give credit to the front 7 of that defense for staying in the proper lanes and getting to the ball carrier, not letting him dance around and make something out of nothing.
Offense getting set. It's second down. They're going to run it here. They tackle him right at the 35-yard line.
It's a good, solid game. 5 or 6 yards. Love to see that from the running game.
They're backed up here, trying to make something happen on 3rd and long. Dropping back, looking to throw for the first down. He's moving out of the pocket now. Cannot connect. Incomplete, and now 4th down. And the Seminoles will line up to kick it away. And this will be the first punt for this offense this afternoon. The fair catch made at the 30-yard line. So the Missouri offense heads back out onto the field. Last possession, a perfectly blocked running play. They scored in one play. Can they keep it going? Caught over the middle. It's Staley. And the defense swarms. Not much of a gain on that completion.
Well, that's pretty good coverage here by this defense. Not much of a window to throw this ball into, but the quarterback's accuracy and the size of the tight end picks up a nice gain.
Second down here. Time for perhaps just one more play before the 2-minute warning. The pre-snap motion from the offense. We've reached the 2-minute warning. We'll have to see if the offense can build on this lead before the break. Second down play coming up. The back's got it. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2. Timeout is called to talk strategy late in this close game with halftime approaching. They don't block the defensive end. It shows some quickness, Kirk, getting around the edge that time.
Yeah, this guy's usually getting around the edge to put pressure on the quarterback, but he reminds everybody here that this guy's a complete package. Not only can he pressure the quarterback, but also he is very, very talented and shows you the physicality he has against the run as well.
Drops back, needing a 3rd down completion here. Oh, it's picked off. What a play. Look out, he's got some space. And he'll be taken down, but after a good return.
What a play by the defensive back here. You have no idea how tough it can be and how slippery it is out there with this rain. The defense is reacting to the offense. The offense knows exactly where they're going when they're running their route. The defender has to try to be very careful to keep his footing underneath him. Sounds simple, but it's not. To come up with that interception while doing that, that is a big-time play.
Tackled just short of the goal line at the 1. What a run. The defense takes their 3rd and final timeout to make some adjustments at the sideline. 1st and goal. Great chance now to draw even before halftime. Keep it on the ground, trying to power in for the touchdown. And the senior able to make the stop after a short game. They'll crank up the tempo here on 2nd down. The time is running out. Looking to score. They'll run it to the left side. Muscles across the goal line. Touchdown, Florida State.
Boy, how exciting has this first half been? We get a touchdown here. They're an extra point away from tying this game up. A lot of great action here.
Handles the tricky footing, and the PAT is good. The PAT ties the game here in the 2nd quarter now. Kickoff team has come on the field now to send this one away. Returner decides to fair catch this. Here comes the Missouri offense back out onto the field. We'll see if this quarterback can shake off the interception he threw in the last possession. And they'll give it to the back. And they'll stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Here comes the up-tempo offense. Takes the ball, tries the right side here. Run it up the middle, but stuffed for no gain.
Well, the back just had nowhere to go. How about the defensive line? They eat up all the blocks up front, freeing those linebackers up to be able to make the play. Just a bad play all around for this offense.
Offense will try to convert a 3rd and long from the 27. We'll see if the defense brings the blitz. Receivers now getting some new assignments before the snap. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Lets it go quickly. Oh, that one's picked off. Going the other way, can they catch him? Past the 10. Touchdown, Knowles. And the defense joins the party with a pick 6. Well, the takeaway and the touchdown, that is just a dream play for any defender.
Well, let's start with the interception. I just love the fact that he got his eyes turned around, found the football, and then has the athletic ability to be able to secure it. Then he goes back to high school running back days and shows him what he can do with the ball in his hands and takes it all the way back for a touchdown. Beautiful thing.
And the returner elects to fair catch it, no return. So the Missouri offense heads back out onto the field. If they want to cut into this lead before halftime, they have to work quickly now. Makes the grab. It's Tuggle.
Love the timing here between the quarterback and his receiver. Pick up some positive yards. I continue to be impressed with just the chemistry between these two.
Looks like Missouri will have the 1st down. So it's a 1st down here. The clock is stopped temporarily, but they'll get to the line quickly. Offense will keep it on the ground here. Brought down, but not before he gets into enemy territory at the 49. Missouri getting set with a 1st and 10 now. Keeping it on the ground here. And they'll force him out of bounds after a short run.
Nice solid run here by this back. Did a nice job of just kind of finding that lane, pick up some positive yards there on 1st and 10.
And now from the pistol formation. Offense switches it up here, looking to throw the ball now. It's a short completion to the big tight end. Tackle made after a nice pickup on the play. Pass complete for a 1st down. The offense gets a fresh set of downs. Caught behind the line. It's Wolf. Runner scoots out of bounds after gaining decent yards.
Well, anytime an offensive coordinator calls a wide receiver screen, he's trying to get offensive linemen out in front of the receiver to create a wall so that receiver can pick a lane to run through. How about the defense here, though? That's called team pursuit and swarming to the football. They didn't give him any lanes, so not much yards downfield for the receiver.
What's the play call here on 2nd down for this offense? Play action fake, looking to throw. Trying to create outside the pocket now. Just trying to get rid of it. Or throwaway there. Gave up on the play, but now it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Well, sometimes an answer for an offensive coordinator against a good pass rush is to move the launching point. Move the quarterback from one spot to another to affect the rhythm of the pass rush. That's not having any kind of impact at all on this defense. They're getting after this quarterback no matter where he is. They do a good job of it right here.
He's not going to get the 1st down. It's 4th down now.
Tackle is made at the 24-yard line.
So the decision is to not go for it, but settle for 3. Here comes the field goal team. The kick is blocked. Somebody got a hand on that. The defense breaks clear over the middle. Can they catch him? Inside the 30. The 10. Touchdown, Seminoles. Just ran away from the defense.
Ohio State, number 17, with the return.
And now here comes the point after attempt. The extra point is good, and they stretch the lead a little bit more. And that will do it for the 1st half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update.
21, Missouri, 7.
The kickoff team out there now to get this second half underway. And he'll lead the kickoff right there. They'll start from the 25. And the Florida State offense heads back onto the field. First play of the third quarter is a handoff. Breaks the tackle, and he's got room. Refusing to be brought down before gaining first down yardage. And the Noles hustle to the line to crank up the tempo. And at first down, they go right back to him. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2.
Well, these are the kind of plays you have to make to be able to win the game in the second half. This back had a great first half and has gotten plenty of touches, so you've got to make sure this half is different than how things have gone so far.
And they'll keep it on the ground. Running back has the handoff. Nice run. He's brought down to the 44.
Just love watching this back run. Gets behind that offensive line, lowers his pads, and gets a nice, solid gain.
What will the call be on 3rd and long now from the 44? Dropping back, they're going to throw for the first down. Receiver makes the catch. Tackled across midfield at the 48, good enough for a first down.
Boy, this offensive line, you got to tip your cap. They've done everything you would ask of them in taking care of this quarterback. They do it again here on 3rd down, working with that lead. You know the pressure's coming, and they deliver.
On 1st and 10, looking to throw. There's contact on the throw. It's incomplete. He was hit as he threw. Good pass rush there on 1st down.
Well, it's pretty simple. The defensive line does a great job of getting after the quarterback and forcing him into that incompletion.
Offense lines up for a second down play off the incompletion. He'll hand it off. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2.
Maybe this stop is an indicator of what's to come for this defense. The offense, frankly, has been able to enforce their will in the first half, but maybe things are starting to change.
Now it's 3rd and long for this offense. Football right at midfield. Dropping back, we're going to throw for the first down. Lets it go under heavy pressure, takes a shot. He makes the grab. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain, more than enough to pick up a first down.
Well, this quarterback is unflappable. Here they are working with the lead in the second half. Get to a 3rd down, you got to throw the football. This is where you trust the quarterback to make a good decision, an accurate throw. He does it, you convert, and you keep working that clock.
A handoff from the shotgun. It's good for a 3-yard gain, so 2nd and 7. And here comes the noise. This crowd is trying to inspire this defense to make a big red zone stop. Quick throw. That's an RPO caught on the left side. The defense grabs him after the completion. He's just short of a first down. That's a design quarterback keeper. Taken down, but not before he makes the first down.
How impressive have these guys been up front today? Big 3rd down, know what you need to do, get the first down, continue to hold on to that lead, continue to work clock, and get that much closer to securing a victory.
So another third down conversion. Now they're set up at 1st and goal. And the single back takes the handoff. Couldn't quite get there. Brought down at the 2.
Picks up 3. It's now 2nd and goal.
And the crowd really making some noise now, trying to help out this defense to get this stop near the goal line. Fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Florida State. Runner shows toughness and will, refusing to be brought down. Ends up in the end zone.
Yeah, that defender had no chance bringing down this ball carrier by himself. That's why you better have a couple defenders, or else you're going to have more touchdowns like this.
They convert the PAT, so the lead is now 21. Here's the kickoff team. Let's see if they give the returner an opportunity to bring this back. And here's the fair catch by the return man. Here comes the Missouri offense back out on the field. Looks like the QB is changing the play at the line. They'll hand it off. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2.
How about the timing here by the defense to shoot that gap? As an offensive lineman, you have to anticipate that, close that gap off. Otherwise, it could be a long day.
After a first down loss, it's 2nd and long from the 23. Here's the snap. Offense looking to throw the ball. Makes the catch. They bring him down quickly. A short pitch and catch to get a little bit closer to the marker. And the quarterback tucks it and takes off as a design run. An effective play. Good for a first down at the 35.
Well, that shows you the trust they have in their offensive line in this running game. To get to a third down, just trying to come up with a way to be able to keep this drive alive, keep hope alive that you can come back in this game. You rely on old reliable with that offensive line, and they come through for you.
Try to run it up the middle, but get nothing.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd down.
Getting set. Here's 2nd down. Moving the receiver around pre-snap. And it looks like the quarterback's going to run it. That's a nice wrap up there by the junior.
Well, anytime you use your quarterback as a runner, the goal is obviously to hit some big plays. You got to be careful of letting your quarterback take too many big hits. Not only can he get tired, he can also start to fumble the football.
And he'll drop back here on 3rd down. Lets it fly to the wideout. The QB throws his 3rd pick of the day.
Intercepted by Florida State. And they'll take over 1st and 10.
And here comes the Florida State offense on the field. They were up double digits at halftime, and they're just continuing to roll, building on the lead here in the 2nd half. Tries the right with a quick throw, and he's got it. They get him down, but the game moves the ball to the 37. The Noles looking to crank up the tempo a bit.
My gosh, this receiver is outstanding. A huge play for this Florida State offense. And I tell you, you and I have been coming into Tallahassee a long time. We've seen some great receivers. Guys like Johnny Wilson, most recently a big, tall target. Anquan Bolden could do everything. Maybe one of my favorite players of all time, Peter Warwick. And going back to Fred Biletnikoff, played, of course, in Florida State.
They bring him down to the 25. They're moving closer and closer to the red zone. The Seminoles come to the line to start a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10 here, looking to throw the ball. And they hit him just as he releases the ball. It's incomplete.
Man, you got to love this if you're defensive coordinator. It's all about affecting the quarterback and getting pressure on him. This time they got to him and forced that incompletion.
2nd down play coming up for this offense. That's the wide receiver coming in motion now. Takes the snap and takes off on the run. He's past the marker, still on his feet. Forced out of bounds after a nice gain. The offense is knocking on the door with a 1st and goal. And the Seminoles looking to punch it in here. It's 1st and goal. That's a design quarterback keeper. Touchdown, Knowles. And this one is getting ugly. That's a crucial touchdown, Kirk. The offense padding its lead now here in the second half.
Yeah, you get into this second half, you start to count possessions and how big your lead is. Now that you're up 2 possessions, you can start to play really smart football, not just on offense, but on defense as well.
And the kick is up and good. They tack on a point to their lead. Kickoff team is on the field. Let's see if they give the returner a chance to bring this one back.
35, Missouri, 7.
This one will be fair caught. So the Missouri offense heads back out onto the field. This drive is important. Last one ended in an interception. Let's see if they can get it going here. And here's the handoff. They'll bring him down right at the 30-yard line.
I think this defense keeps thinking about them throwing the football, and by doing that, they're opening up running lanes. Good positive yards there by the running back.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. With the score, Florida State 35, Missouri 7.
Offense getting set for a 2nd down here to begin the quarter. And the tailbacks got it again. Tackle made at the 41. That's a nice gain. They're getting closer to the 50.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, where in the heck was that all game? Or maybe he's just kind of keeping that to himself, thinking, all right, maybe this is something to build on. Maybe something positive can come out of this. You're going to have some bad games from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready in the future. But that right there, that's what they've been looking for all game.
That completion sets up a 2nd down play. And now the handoff. Breaks loose at the 40. They make the stop, but not before a solid gain that time.
You know, all week, the defensive coordinator told us about the quarterback. He told us about the receivers and how they're going to throw the football. But man, they better get locked in on stopping this run game because that was a big-time game.
Play action here on 1st down. Trying to create here on the move. Makes the catch downfield. They bring him down, but that's a solid gain on the play.
Finally, good for them. They come up with a big play like this. Let's face it, offense has been at a premium for these guys. You wonder where plays like this have been all game long.
Looking to throw it from the red zone. Pass not complete, but there was a lot of contact there, and here comes a late flag.
Man, playing defensive back has got to be the toughest job out there right now in college football. You get isolated on islands against these freaky, talented receivers. It's hard enough to be able to stay up with them and try to make a play on the ball, and often you end up bumping them downfield, and you get a call like this.
On the ground, trying to power toward the goal line. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Well, this defense is being challenged. They're close to their own goal line, but how about this play? All 11 guys coming together. They stood firm. The result is a short loss for the offense. Nice job.
2nd down and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he runs it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
You know, today's not been their day, but the thing you can always hang your hat on is these guys are still competing. They come up with a touchdown here late in the 4th quarter. Can use that as hopefully some momentum into next week.
And the extra point splits the uprights. Kickoff team is on the field to boot this one away.
Missouri 14.
Looks like the returner will try and field this one. And he stopped at the 19. Good job by the coverage team.
And the Florida State offense will take over 1st and 10.
offense comes back on the field. This group has been rolling up double digits at halftime. They've just built on that lead here in the second half. And the Noles looking to use the up-tempo offense here. Now to play fake, he'll look to throw it. And here comes a deep shot. And the ball is picked off. And that's a solid return after the interception.
What a play by the defense. Really, the only way they can get back into this game is to create a turnover. They get an interception, and they're in business.
Big guys up front lined up. It's first down. They're going to run it. Finding some room with the 25. Brought down, but it's past the line to gain.
You know, everybody always wants to talk about quarterbacks today and receivers, and don't get me wrong, that's a big part of the evolution of the game and where we are. But, man, for me, as a fan, when I'm watching a game, there's just something satisfying about the teams and the offenses that still...
He's got some room. Can he get there? And he gets to the end zone. Touchdown, Missouri.
This is such a well-designed play here, Chris. The offensive line opens things up initially, but you can see the speed of the back and the effort by the receivers not to be selfish. These guys are blocking downfield. That's why he got that ball in the end zone.
Here's the kickoff team now, set to boot this one away. And he'll bring it out from inside the 10. He steps out of bounds at the 26. And the Florida State offense heads back onto the field. This offense trying to bounce back the last possession, ended in a pick. Handoff as they try to work the clock here. He's found some room at the 45. Tackle made after a big gain. It's a 1st and 10 play coming up for the offense. Timeout is called by the defense. That's their first of the half. New set of downs for the offense. 1st and 10. Takes the handoff again. And that run produces a decent gain. A gain makes it 2nd and medium.
I like the run play here. And offensively, at this point in the game, you want to remain in that attack mode first, while also staying in bounds and working that clock.
That run sets up an important 3rd down call for this offense. They'll try to run for the 1st down.
I love it. 3rd down, the way this back is running, just keep feeding him the football, and he's going to come through for you. And he does here at a critical moment in his football game in the 4th quarter. Nice job.
They'll try the ground game here with the running back. The pickup is 5 yards, so it's 2nd down and 5. Defense spends their 2nd timeout to try to regroup. Here's the 2nd down play. Trying to flex the ground game here. Running back takes the handoff. Picks up a gain here. They'll stop him just a few inches short of the 1st down marker. On 3rd down, it's a handoff. He shreds the tackle. They stop him, but it's a 1st down. The Noles come to the line in a hurry-up. And now a timeout taken by the defense, trying to preserve as much clock as possible for their offense. They continue to pound away on the ground. Brings up a 1st and 10. And there's the handoff. The gain is 3 yards. Brings up a 2nd down and 7. Offense right to the line, cranking up the tempo. Using the ground game here. Tailback has the handoff. They try the middle, but gain nothing on that play. So here we go, 3rd down in the red zone, the kind of play that decides football games. And the play goes nowhere. Picked up about a yard, but it'll be 4th down.
brings up 4th down.
And that's the 2-minute warning. This offense looking to run out the clock and secure an impressive win here today. The Seminoles will look to convert here on 4th down.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
Home crowd trying to make a difference on 4th down. And they stop him just short, but the defense really backed up now. It's 1st and goal. And the Seminoles looking to finish the drive here. It's 1st and goal. And the quarterback tucks it and takes off as a design run. He'll try to run inside, but nowhere to go. We'll see if the offense can punch it in on 2nd and goal. Trying for the touchdown on the right side. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Seminoles.
Man, that's another touchdown for this guy. This defense better adjust and get eyes into that backfield, or he may go for a 3rd or a 4th later today.
Now they line up to kick the extra point. Extra point up and good. A 3-touchdown lead now here in the final quarter. Now the kickoff team is out on the field.
42, Missouri 21.
And the return man decides to signal fair catch. Here comes the Missouri offense back out onto the field. At this point, there's not much you can do except play for pride. The pass rush closing in. Looks left and finds his target there. That's a big gain before he goes out of bounds. It'll move the sticks, more than enough for a 1st down.
Well, this offense has a long way to be able to get back and potentially win this game, but they're doing the right things, managing the clock, picking up good yards, and getting out of bounds.
1st down and 10. There's the handoff. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2. Timeout called by the defense. They'll go to the sideline and try to adjust. That's their 1st timeout. Talk about quickness. That play is absolutely blown up in no time.
Chris, I don't know if that's a misassignment by the offensive lineman or just really good instincts there by the defender, but that play is blown up right at the snap.
2nd down after that previous play. They snap it. Quarterback looking to throw the ball. Receiver makes the grab. They wrap him up after the completion just short of the 1st down mark. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. And it looks like the quarterback's going to run it. Brought down to the 47, and that will move the sticks. Missouri getting set with a 1st and 10 coming up. Here's the snap. Quarterback drops back. He makes the grab. And they get him down after the completion. 2nd down after that short completion. Takes the snap and takes off on the run. The junior able to bring him down quickly.
Chris, as this clock winds down, it has been a rough day for this offense. Just unable to get anything going. You hope they're able to go back, look at the film, try to learn from the mistakes, and come out the next week looking much better than they did today.
Quarterback leaves the pocket on the move now. They've got him. It's a sack for the defense. And a timeout taken now by the defense. 15 seconds to play.
Man, how about the job by this defense? I mean, we really expected this offense to be able to come into this game, put up big yards and a lot of points. And here we are in the 4th quarter. Collectively, they don't even have 200 yards total offense, and they just seem to be out of sync. Give all the credit to the defensive coordinator and those defensive players and the way they're putting this pressure on this quarterback and this offense.
The coach's choice to go for it does not pan out.
It's a turnover on downs.
So here comes the first play of the drive. They'll begin at the 42. First down, looking to throw the ball. And they heave it deep downfield. Deep shot caught out of the 15. Touchdown, Florida State. And the route is on.
So much about speculation on whether or not they're going to kick a field goal or go for a touchdown. They put this ball into the end zone, and they put this game out of reach. What a job by this team and by this offense.
Kicking team out for the PAT try. The extra point is good, and they stretch the lead a little bit more. The kickoff team on the field now as they get set to send this one away.
21.
He'll call for the fair catch here. With the game out of reach here, the offense will just take a knee, admit defeat, and think about how to improve for the next game. And a timeout is taken, just 2 seconds left on the clock.
Timeout, Florida State.
It went backwards on first down, so second and long from the 24. They call the counter run here. So they make the tackle, what will be the final play of the game as the clock hits 0-0. So that's now back-to-back wins, Kirk, over quality opponents. This team really building some momentum.
I agree. I think there's a lot to build on with it.